Behavior Modification, When the End Justifies the Means, by Dr. Jonathan Schuma. Introduction. The battle between who you are and who you must become. Every human carries two versions within: the current self, shaped by habits, patterns, and past conditioning; the required self, the version destined to achieve greatness. Behavior modification is the bridge between these two worlds. It is the conscious act of reshaping your actions, patterns, thoughts, and responses so your life aligns with your highest goals. When the end is noble, when your destination is destiny, impact, purpose, transformation, then the means required to get there are not only justified but necessary. You cannot become the person who deserves the future you desire without altering the behaviors that keep you tied to the past. This book teaches you how. Chapter 1. The Power of Purposeful Change. Behavior does not change randomly. It changes when purpose becomes stronger than comfort. Every major transformation begins with a realization: if I continue behaving like this, I will not reach the life I envision. Purpose is the engine. Behavior is the vehicle. Once you define your destination clearly, you will recognize that the habits you cling to cannot take you there. Until purpose becomes more valuable than pleasure, behavior will remain unchanged. Chapter 2. The Psychology of Self-Reprogramming. Human behavior is the product of four elements. 1. Beliefs, what you think is possible or impossible. 2. Identity, who you believe you are. 3. Habits, what you repeatedly do. 4. Environment, what influences you daily. To modify behavior, you must reprogram these building blocks. Beliefs. Your life rises no higher than your beliefs. When limiting beliefs act like invisible handcuffs, comforting yet enslaving. Identity. You behave according to the identity you accept. If you see yourself as average, disciplined behavior feels unnatural. If you see yourself as destined for greatness, excellence becomes normal. Habits. Habits are automated decisions. If you don't change your habits, you are simply hoping for a new life while keeping the old lifestyle. Environment. If your environment does not support your transformation, it will sabotage it. You can pray and plan, but the environment always wins. Chapter 3. When the end justifies the means. Understanding the principle. In the context of behavior modification, the end justifies the means is not permission to be unethical. It is permission to be uncomfortable, disciplined, strategic, intentional, and unyielding in pursuit of a higher outcome. You will have to cut off unhealthy relationships, end destructive habits, silence your emotions, rewire your thinking, break patterns that feel natural, challenge parts of yourself that you have protected for years. When the end is destiny, the means are sacrifice. When the goal is transformation, the method is discipline. Purpose cannot be achieved on the foundation of old behavior. Chapter 4. The Law of Inner Conflict. Every time you attempt to change your behavior, a war begins within. Your mind protests. This is not how we do things. Your emotions resist. This feels uncomfortable. Your body fights. This takes too much energy. Old behavior does not die quietly. The presence of resistance is not a sign that you are failing. It is proof that you are confronting the version of you that must go. There can be no modification without discomfort. Chapter 5. Breaking the cycle of self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is not a weakness, it is a pattern. It shows up as procrastination, laziness, emotional decisions, fear of success, fear of failure, overthinking, low discipline, jumping from project to project, choosing comfort over progress. To break sabotage, you must understand this truth. The old you will always attempt to protect itself. Behavior modification requires the recognition that you are not fighting circumstances. You are fighting your own programming. Chapter 6. Behavior replacement. The golden rule of change. You cannot stop behavior. You can only replace it. Nature hates a vacuum. So does the human mind. If you remove a habit without replacing it, the old behavior returns stronger. The secret is substitution. Replace negative self-talk with affirmations. Replace wasted time with structured routines. Replace draining relationships with empowering ones. Replace addictive habits with productive rituals. Replacement is the true beginning of transformation. Chapter 7. Identity shift, becoming the person who deserves the end. Behavior rises from identity. You cannot act consistently different from who you believe you are. An identity shift is achieved through 1. Declaration speaking who you are becoming. 2. Associations surrounding yourself with people who reflect your future self. 3. Repetition, daily consistent behavior reinforcing the new identity. 4. Commitment refusing to entertain the old version of yourself. Identity is not discovered, it is constructed. Once identity shifts, behavior follows automatically. Chapter 8. Sacrifice, the price of behavioral transformation. Transformation demands sacrifice. Sacrifice of comfort, familiarity, old friendships, old habits, unnecessary entertainment, emotional impulses, limiting environments. Every behavior you change will cost you something, but every destiny you pursue will reward you more. Never fear losing what was only holding you back. Chapter 9. The discipline factor. Doing what is necessary, not what is easy. Discipline is the glue between goals and accomplishment. Most people fail not because they lack dreams, but because they lack disciplined behavior to sustain those dreams. Discipline means showing up even when unmotivated, doing what must be done even when feelings disagree, prioritizing progress over pleasure, delaying gratification for long-term gain. Discipline is painful now, but priceless later. When the end is meaningful, discipline becomes a weapon. Chapter 10. Emotional mastery, training your feelings to obey you. Emotions are terrible leaders, but excellent indicators. If your behavior is led by emotion, inconsistency will rule your life. If your behavior is led by purpose, emotion becomes irrelevant. To master emotions, recognize them, do not obey them. Redirect their energy. Let purpose dictate action. When emotions submit to purpose, behavior becomes unstoppable. Chapter 11. The environment of transformation. A person becomes the environment they submit to. There are 3 types of environments. 1. Progressive environments push you forward. 2. Passive environments keep you stagnant. 3. Regressive environments pull you backward. Your behavior will modify faster when your environment supports the change. Move from people who criticize growth to people who live growth. Chapter 12. Consistency, the silent power behind behavior. Modification. Consistency is stronger than intensity. It is better to change one behavior daily for 30 days than to attempt to change everything in 1 week. Success is built through repeated daily decisions, not occasional inspiration. The end is only justified when the means are consistent. Chapter 13. The end. The future you are becoming. When you persevere through discomfort, challenge, and sacrifice, when you modify your behavior to align with your calling, when you shed old patterns and adopt new disciplines, you become unstoppable. The end you envision becomes real. Purpose fulfilled, identity transformed, capacity expanded, life elevated, destiny unlocked. At that moment, you will confirm the truth. The end justified the means, because the end was greatness, and the means were the price of becoming who you truly are. Conclusion. Your destiny awaits your behavior. Your future is not determined by your talent, education, or circumstances. It is determined by the behaviors you choose daily. To modify behavior is to rewrite destiny. You owe it to yourself to become the version of you capable of carrying the greatness within. If the end is transformation, the means are worth it.